1, 2, 3, play. Hello, this is Scratch and Dennis with Hidden Community Cup Jean Bureau bracket, the first semi-final between skitvibe in the blue as Incas and karabast in the red as the Turks on cross, not Four Lakes, cross, which is different than Four Lakes. There's like less fish or something. Dennis, this is our first semi-final after like a week or two break. We're finally getting to the ends. What do you think about these guys on this map?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one because we've had two groups. They've not really gone up against each other. It's kind of like a battle of the groups as well, right? When you think about Darren and Karabast, Skitvibe and DHR, we've not seen which group is stronger or how they stack up against one another. So it's going to be really interesting. I don't know how the preparations were for these players, but it's going to be a fun game. And Inca is very aggressive civ to play, and Turks is very dangerous in late game. So
I will say the Turks player having that gold on their face is kind of aggravating. But look at that back wood line. Oh,
I mean, look at that. Yeah, the wood line's crazy because you can wall them off and protect the forward, or probably put your barracks and stable around. I'm assuming you're going stable, but you could also go archer range, I guess. But do Turks even get crossbow? I don't know.
I think they get crossbow.
Okay.
I feel like it would be unfair for them to have spearmen and archers only, right? That there's no way that that's the truth.
I mean, they get their scouts have extra pierce armor or melee armor, so
yes, they get crossbowmen.
Oh, they do get crossbowmen. Okay,
they do get crossbowmen. I was gonna say if they get stuck with only spears and only crossbows, then holy shit! No wonder we see gunpowder from them every time.
True. Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like you go archers eventually, just because you are eventually going to want to go hand cannons against.
hand cannons. Okay.
Well, against the Eagles, right? I guess I see Mesoamerican civs and I just assume Eagles at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
TC board pull from skitvibe.
Yeah, let's just.
No. He botched it. Oh no. Oh, disaster.
Is rough.
Okay, that's nerves. That like I mentally said, or I genuinely said TC board pull from skitvibe, and then I counted 1, 2, 3, and I went, wait. No,
when you say TC board pull, he actually shot the board with the TC?
Yeah, he killed it accidentally.
Wow, okay.
You gotta fire twice, pull out, and then kill it with the villagers, and he shot 3 times.
Knows about the second boar, so he could go for the second boar right now, just going for the dock instead to make up for that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think switching from that to the dock is a really good pivot, actually. Especially since your base is already, like, I feel like your base is likely to go in that direction anyway for expansion. So
yeah, there's 4 on wood. I don't know enough about. 5 on wood probably is. Second
double
lumber camp. Yeah. That might be a little
probably
bit too early.
Probably a second dock.
I think that's a little too early. The second lumber camp's too early because now your fishing ships wouldn't be produced because you spent 100 wood on the lumber camp.
I'm more curious about what this villager's doing on the western lake.
Thinking of docking 2 lakes very quickly is what Skitvibe.
Well, she's going to be standing there for a minute, right?
Yeah, I think you just go for 1 lake and build up your eco and then go for the next lake. I think this is a little bit too aggressive with fishing eco right now. This is the neutral map, so I think both players potentially could struggle.
Getting punched in the mouth by killing your own boar really sucks, though. This villager. I'm watching this villager like a hawk. I'm waiting. Like, are you dropping an outpost? Are you gonna put a dock up?
Imagine if this is something like Sneakville, who builds a forward barracks for eagles. No, this is just a dock to prevent another dock being snuck into this pond. I think that's the reason why the villager walked in. The house for vision in the other side, and the eagles also kind of patrolling the right to make sure that
There's
no
the dock.
snake will going in. But
So probably one a security dock and one a use dock, but I do think that is a little aggressive. Like I don't know.
I am
This map is weird. If anybody's ever seen me play on this map, it's not a pretty sight. I do not like this map at all. Or actually, no. What I'm saying is I don't like Four Lakes. I don't like Cross either. I do not like this map. I'm not good at it. It's too much thinking.
Yeah, I think the builds, you're not really used to a hybrid build order, right? So
Hybrids genuinely freak me out.
and I don't understand
Yes.
why you wouldn't go for another boar after you shot one boar, but
Yeah,
that
that
seems
is
to
a little
be
odd.
also, like you said, nerves, right? Knockout stage, you need to do well, and probably skit vibes.
I mean, yeah,
Going
knockout
for-
stage, and the first thing you do is make your boar unusable, and that sucks. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to Skit Vibe at all, they're a great player, but that is definitely like a gut punch at the worst possible time.
True.
Not
The
as
wall
bad
up
as
is-
losing 4 sheep under your town center on Socotra, but you know we don't have to get into that.
Yeah. Yeah, the wall up is looks good for Karabast. I still think that
I don't
this
like
is
that wall up
sinking-
because he's walling himself up from his own dock. I don't like and from gold. I don't like that.
I mean,
think that one of those houses needed to be on the other side.
yeah, for me, I just wish it was like a palisade wall for a portion of it, so that you can expand easily.
You can
because
delete if you need to.
yeah, now you're deleting a house. You might be pop capped at that point. You don't know. And also barracks. I mean, I don't expect anything from the barracks when you play Turks, but
True.
it's
True.
still kind of nice to have it
And
in forward if you
for-
need pikes for some reason. But you don't need it. It's eagles, sinkers. Maybe that's something
I will-
that's planned. I don't know.
I will say, Karabast has probably the cushiest lumber camp of all time. These single group of villagers, or this single group of villagers here, that could be their wood for the entire game. Just move that lumber camp over to the right over time, and that's it. That's all you need.
I think the Karabast might chop through and let an eagle through in the future, but let's see.
Oh, that's true. There are a few thin spots there. Stable coming up immediately. Honestly, considering we didn't get boars at all, Skit Vibe actually made it pretty quick.
I definitely think that Skit Vibe's kind of struggling here because Skit Vibe's now seeding so many farms and not really taking the second boar, so very late to feudal age right now.
But they, I don't know. I get what you're saying. They are late, but I feel like they could have been a lot later. But like I said, they botched the board and then they immediately dropped a dock. So good pivot, but I do think that missing the second boar, which seems purposeful, was an odd choice.
Yeah, I think Skit Vibe's also going for a more defensive game with outposts throughout the map.
Yeah, really good outposts early too. I like it. Blacksmith at the back. Marketplace probably coming up soon.
No one on gold yet, so it's not a fast castle idea from Skit Vibe, and no one on gold, and archery range comes up, and I think, I don't know. Yeah,
Wait, that's a second barracks. Okay.
Eagles
Second
come,
barracks with nobody
maybe.
on gold.
Eagles come, maybe.
It's got to be skirms. I've tried Eagle Skirm. I've never gotten it to work. I've heard horror stories that it's awesome, but I've never gotten it to
I mean, you're. I don't think that has Skit Vibe actually scouted the stable. I don't think so.
He walked around
Nope.
it. He's on the lake right now. Yeah.
But now the outpost
Yeah, I
has
missed-
given that idea.
Yeah, there you
and-
go. Yeah, he sees it.
And the gold
very-
villager is weak and also
Okay,
alone.
he did pull the second boar in feudal age, so you know that's good. That's still 300 something food that you're not having to farm with, but you already seeded those farms, so I think it's kind of a moot point.
Yeah, also Karabast is already up to Castle Age, and the light cav upgrade comes automatically for Turks. So,
Oh, that's right, it does, doesn't it?
yep. So light cav is much stronger to snipe the villagers. So, in terms of eco, I mean the fishing eco is amazing for Skit Vibe. So if Karabast is not aggressive, this could end up being good for skitvibe. But right now, the gold villager, there's just one. Wait, there's another gold pile somewhere because there's 4 on gold according to the capture ridge.
I do see that. I think maybe you just told people to go to gold and they haven't. Yeah, they're moving towards it. They haven't started working it
Okay, yep. So scouts are already getting value, and light cab upgrade also will come in quickly.
Yeah, this is a really greedy defense from skitvibe. We're now starting to see spearmen a little late. We've got them coming out of 2 barracks, which I like. I don't know if I really understand the idea of 2 barracks and an archery range into nothing. That seems a little odd.
I think it's all related to the boar, right? You started a set and it's kind of very rough, but credit to karabast to kind of secure the base and producing scouts. Probably knows about the light cab upgrade that's about to come in, makes more scouts and sends them forward. Going to stone, so long-term plan. Castle, Janissaries.
Tonight.
Castle Janissaries could also... switching to knights. Nice.
Well, switching to knights now, I think he just wants a bit of an impact unit because the light cav are dying to the TC.
Yeah, and also you want to retain map control and not...
That's a lot of skirmishers, okay.
And skirmishers, when you are going up against Turks who get the free light cab upgrade, is questionable. And you don't see archers from Turks, so I don't know. It's I think it's all kind of thrown off. But I hope skitvibe kind of plays the first game through and warms up, because
we've got some eagles in the red economy, like. Yeah, I don't like this town center being cut off from the rest. You need to delete those 2 of those houses, I think.
I mean, the expansion is now through, right? I mean, the initial walking time was painful, but now you have the TC there. The TC is going to go up. The eagles are not anywhere close by. And
we have a 3rd, more defensive lumber camp from skitvibe. You have fighting going. Oh, here we go.
There's bloodline knights. Yeah, bloodline knights, bloodline light cav. They can take the fight, and skitvibe dives and takes a will kill. And at the same time, light cav dives in to try to kill some villagers. There's a pretty good active game, and skitvibe actually has idle eagles next to villagers, so there could be more kills coming in.
Yeah, they're on stand ground for some reason.
But skitvibe might be thinking of clicking up right now, because
I think I would. Like, the thing is you're Incas, and having as much food as you do right now, you can start streaming eagles in.
You don't have the wood eco to place the farms. So create the required buildings. I think that's the problem right now. There is an archery range, but there is no...
We have archery range and a barracks. There's barracks.
The barracks is Dark Age, but yeah, blacksmith is there, so...
Barracks is feudal age. I'm sorry, I was saying barracks. I was clicking the blacksmith, I was saying barracks. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
You said barracks is Dark Age and my head exploded. What are these skirmishers doing? Like...
Yeah, I don't know the idea behind skirms. Maybe it was just the lack of gold which made skitvibe pick skirms as a defense. But long term, after knowing that Turks player is going knights and light cav, I mean, I guess you have enough pikes now. You're also getting armor for them, so maybe eventually you'll take a fight, but it doesn't sound much, but these spikes cost a lot, especially with upgrades. They slow down your eco, but I think it's required because of how open you're playing.
They definitely cost a lot with the economy that skitvibe has going right now.
Skitvibe does have 7 on food, 7 fishing ships, so you can produce a lot of units which have food. The gold is kind of... Okay.
Oh, you did it.
Clear up.
Yeah, there you go.
I
The
would
wherewithal
like.
to build the up to 8 spearmen as you knew your opponent was getting more cavalry to come back, that was really good.
So I
Really
mean,
like
you
that.
know that Turk's player is on stone, so you know Janissaries is coming in. So what do you plan for that? Do you just go? Oh, maybe that's the idea for skirms, because the idea is, okay, skirms is gonna come in. I mean, Janissaries is gonna come in, and I'll have skirms ready. But I think you need an impact unit, and ooh, this is in true Jean Bureau fashion. We have Turk Manitams researched, so maybe we see Manitams from Turks.
You can't not be in John Burrow bracket and spam infantry needlessly.
Oh
You can't do
wow,
it.
you
You have
bought
to do it.
500 stone to immediately drop the castle.
So that's an amazing castle. Actually, I was thinking about it. I think Janissaries are definitely going to be the play, but I think more importantly, when I'm thinking of if I were playing Turks against Incas, or rather, because I'm much more likely to play Incas against Turks, the thing that I'm worried about is Bombard Cannon, because I can't really do much against that unit.
I mean, I think right now just light cav Janissary is going to be really difficult comp to fight, right? As Incas. At
Yeah.
least I've struggled. Maybe there's higher elo players who can control the army in a crazy way, but it's very easy to control light cav and Janissaries.
Yeah. No, I think you
But
got to go
a
mangonels, right?
nice raid from skitvibe on the gold.
Yep.
Trying to restrict karabast from producing, but already have 386 gold. So Janissaries is going to be on the field, and knights don't have upgrades, but they would trade pretty well because that is +2 for the eagles. So maybe they won't die that badly, but they probably will die to some extent. Yeah.
No, they're.
Yeah. Knights would do pretty well against eagles. So
Yeah. Now they're dying.
yeah.
They look first.
Okay.
Stone wall is Turks.
Yeah, I think you're having some audio issues, Scratch. But yeah,
Am I?
you got cut off for a sec. But right now,
Oh.
I think Karabas is
Underneath my-
thinking of just completely stonewalling the base, and there's 4 Janissaries.
Send it pikes, like your pikes. Take those knights. Like have your pikemen just be nearby and stream the eagles in. Here come the skirmishers. We're getting elite skirmisher on top of it. Am I still having mic issues?
A little bit, yeah. That's why I was looking around.
Really?
But yeah, I think you're not really having issues when when you're talking now. But every once in a while you get cut off. I don't know if it's the hotkey that you press to
Maybe.
push to talk or something. But yeah, eagles are gonna come in, try to stop this wall off. I don't think you need this wall off necessarily. Just make knights and you should be fine. But I think maybe not.
No.
Maybe the eco is not set up for knights.
I like the wall. I would agree. I would focus on knights primarily, but I think by Imperial Age, I would want this wall completed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just thinking, like, if you have knights until the wall goes up, then you don't take this eco damage, right? Because it's always good to wall up, but when you wall up, just have knights or army to let the walls go up, because right now the walls are not going up, and you're also taking a lot of eco damage.
Skit vibes with a 10 villager lead
and 15 eco kills. So this is actually
10...
going pretty well for skitvibe actually, with the fishing ships in the 2 ponds. That also resulted in a lot of food being collected right now. And the skirms is the one thing that I did not understand why they're moving out. They're all going to die to the knights.
Yeah, they're all dead.
I mean, there's no blacksmith upgrades on the knights, but I think knights are knights. Knights are knights, yeah.
So far, my only concern for Karabast is I don't see a siege workshop, and this castle's the only thing they've got going right now.
Yeah.
So if that castle falls, that's it. That's the end of the game.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we really need to
there are
see
8.
what else we got.
There's 10 Janissaries. 10 Janissaries is gonna do pretty well, and Janissaries Knights should be fine. I think it's still a gold heavy comp. Uh, I think you need to boom a little bit to make that happen, but
Janissaries are out.
yeah, Janissaries is gonna kill the Eagles pretty easily, kill the Pikes. All the skirms are down, and if the skirms do come out, Knights can take care of them. So it's going to be a tough position for skitvibe to defend this, because like I said, it's fairly easy for Knights or Light Cav to trade with Janissaries, but Janissaries are just staying at home, so maybe not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
I think that karabast wants to end this by castle drop. I think they want to protect that stone until they can drop a castle and then move forward with it.
Yep, that's a good call out. Has the stone almost.
I think you drop it beside the archery range on the blacksmith. Take out that area and start there.
I mean, if you're playing Turks, you can go late game. You can just drop another castle at home and boom and expand your eco. I think right now with Incas, the main thing is raiding, and you have stone walls to prevent that. You don't even have to look at your base that much when you have stone walls.
There is a hole at the back of the base, yeah.
Yep, I do see one.
Technically, there's 2 holes. There's one behind the castle too, but you don't want to take that one.
Yeah, you have Janissaries in the castle to stop that from going through, but...
Now, I know that gunpowder units do not benefit from fletching, but do they benefit from armor?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Do you need archery range armor?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, when I say gunpowder units, I'm talking about Janissaries, but yeah.
Well, I meant Janissaries and hand cannons. They both don't benefit from fletching, right?
They don't benefit from fletching, and they both benefit from armor, yes.
Okay. Andean Sling, okay. Is Andean Sling the... What is that?
I wish we have an Incas player here. Okay. Definitely not throwing you under the bus because I don't know the answer.
No, I just can't. Oh yeah, it gets rid of the minimum range for skirmishers, and they get +1 attack.
Oh, okay.
Or no, slingers get +1 attack.
Yeah, I think.
But it does eliminate the minimum range for skirmishers and slingers, so that's a good tech for this.
Okay, skirms are actually just staying in the archery range right now, but there's only one archery range, so there's no production possible now unless you ungarrison the skirms, if that was something that skitvibe's attempting. Skitvibe is going up to castle first, I mean Imperial first. So
we do definitely need at least 1 more archery range, probably on the other side of that castle. And we need it very quickly. 13 skirmishers is not enough. We're going to need 20, 30. Now, I think we've seen karabast do this with the battering rams before. I don't, like, battering rams against this game is very odd to me. Oh, our eagles are coming around. Ouch.
Battering ram as Turks as well is very weird, right? I mean...
Yeah.
You
just
might
wait for bombard cannon.
So you get a free gold upgrade. I mean, your builds collect gold faster, so you can go faster to imp. And you get bombard cannon, which is easy to produce because you don't need to research chemistry.
We're thinking siege workshops for Incas, which I like. I'm assuming mangonels, but I am concerned.
It could also be rams. It could also be rams, honestly. I don't think rams is a good idea, but considering that there's 2 siege workshops made, it could be rams actually.
I'm very concerned because either way, that's a lot of gold. We are running out of safe gold.
Yeah, skitvibe can slowly but steadily expand to the right? I think that's natural. I think
so.
I think...
Well, no, actually, I think you expand to the left. You've got these 2 small gold pockets here. That way you protect what little of that lake you have left. And again, at the end of the day, the only danger point of karabast base is this castle. Yeah,
forward castle from skitvibe. We were expecting forward castle from karabast because of the stone miners.
Yeah, I'm a little confused why that forward castle hasn't shown up yet. I think it's a little odd.
What do you mean?
From karabast, I'm a little confused why that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, why that hasn't happened
he
yet.
sees it. Karabast
But
sees
the
it.
but the knights see it, and the skirms are out of position
pikemen are here.
again. And
Pikemen are here though.
pikemen are here. And skitvibe is an imp, but Turks will be an imp very quickly. And if karabast knows about bombard cannon, this is going to be even more painful for Incas.
I think it's going to be rough for Karabast because I'm pretty sure a Treb can range that castle from behind the wood line.
I mean, Turk BBC can range the Treb, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. But there is a defensive castle that goes up for Karabast as well. So there's 2 castle production for the Trebs and 1 castle Treb production. I mean, as I say Treb production, there's no Trebs in the field.
There's 1 Treb coming in now. It's a little late. It's a little late. I think skitvibe would have really benefited from dropping that Treb the moment they got to Imperial Age. Unfortunately, they were a little busy.
Okay.
No monks at this point, which I'm starting to think is a mistake.
Especially
for Incas.
I think monks at this elo is not really something that's required.
No, I mean for relics particularly.
Yeah, relics, maybe.
Both of these civs are extremely thirsty for gold. Now we're starting to see the skirmisher numbers. There's a mangonel.
Yeah, I think if you take the game so late that relics matter, I think Incas lose anyway, so. But as I say that, patrolling the relic, so it at least wants to deny the.
I wonder if
relic
these
in front.
villagers are gonna go build a dock on the eastern lake.
I would not recommend that. Right now you need military units and sinking all your strength into pushing Turks, because Turks' gunpowder makes it very hard to make them push. They can turtle much more effectively.
We say that, but the elite skirmishers are working the Janissaries right now.
Yeah, because
No
there's no knights or light cav around. But
yeah, they're super overextended.
yeah, I think the players are just not fighting together with their army compositions, but I think it should be fine.
Trebs are on the blue castle.
The TC production is stopped for Karabast, so
A while ago, yeah.
Hoardings comes in to make the castle stronger. The castle is not being repaired, so Incas is going to lose this castle in front, which means the knights can probably run in.
Yeah, so skitvibe being able to range that castle from the wood line is really unfortunate. If we had dropped that trebuchet the moment we got up to Imperial Age, this castle would have been gone 2 minutes ago.
Okay, the eagles can run in and raid, but there is 2
those,
castles to
the skirmishers
stop
need to
that.
pull out. Okay, now we're doing Hussar and Cavalier for Turks? What? I'm very confused by this. Just make bombard cannon.
Okay, so
It's a
castle
guaranteed-
castle here, and there's fletching for Karabast and no fletching for skitvibe, so that is going to be an interesting fight that goes on, and also hoardings for Karabast. So Karabast will win the castle fight on the right. Already won the castle fight in the center, but there is a Treb that's not being taken care of. But light cavs being queued, or Hussar now because of imp, and there's very less eagles on the field, so these rams could take out the Treb. There is a mangonel here, so maybe not.
Yeah, but he's building Hussar and Cavalier into fully upgraded pikemen. There's still a lot of pikemen on the field here.
There is 17 Janissaries in the field. I don't know where they are, but okay, they are actually raiding. Janissaries are a raiding unit.
They are raiding. So... Oh yeah. Wow. Okay. It's not often you see Janissary raids.
Yeah,
that's
typically
that's very dangerous if skitvibe doesn't pay attention to that. Which so far they're not, but fortunately they can afford to lose lumberjacks right now. They're very hyper-focused on this castle, which is fine. But...
I think because of how the eco is going, I think skitvibe can do this.
Oh yeah, skitvibe has resources for days.
I mean, doesn't really know about the Janissaries. That's the one thing that probably needs to... But Fabric Shields comes up, which I think means the Eagles would be stronger.
It's, Fabric Shields is Eagles, Kamyuks, and Slingers get +1/+2 armor.
Yep.
All right, the
So
Janissaries did get moved under the TC, so skitvibe was saved there. This single Treb is carrying this game for skitvibe right now.
guess what's
We
the
we
villager
need
efficiency
a
for
castle or two.
karabast? I think karabast lost this.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Because all the villages are kind of garrisoned in the town center. The Hussar raid could come through, but I think there's no upgrades on the Hussar. Yeah, this is a very defensive approach, and considering how skitvibe started this is very good. And with the extra armor from fabric shields, these eagles could just run through underneath castles and start killing all the villagers.
Yep.
And that's the idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I think there was maybe a 2 or 3 minute window where there was no chance in hell that karabast could lose this game if they had been a little bit more aggressive. Unfortunately, though, they were passive instead, and skitvibe took advantage of that. But I really question the concept of being Turks against Incas having bombard cannon and not going bombard cannon. It's a guaranteed unit that the Incas cannot match, right?
Bombard cannon, I don't think bombard cannon was the problem here. I think if Turks had light cab and Janissaries and focused on a slow push instead of trying to raid in the back of the base,
True.
they could have held it, because Eagles would die to mass Janissaries. But if your Janissaries is not defending, then, you know, they can do this, which is just run through your eco and fight. The castle goes down, but the Trebs are in a higher elevation, so they should potentially kill everything. The skirms are dying. It is going to be painful to push Trebs. I mean, push the Turk castles but there is one more Treb. Trebbing down the final 2 castles.
I really like this push from skitvibe, though. It's very controlled.
Game 1 goes to skitvibe.
Well done. And good on you, karabast, for making him work for it.
Oh yeah, this was a good matchup. If the plan was expecting Incas in cross as well, this is really good. It'll definitely be interesting to hear from both players on game 1, and on to the next one. This looks like a rough start from skitvibe. Good way to rally and come back. Karabast had good eco kills with knights, but I think kind of had a defensive mindset with the stone walls and trying to boom into the game, that just never happened.
Yeah, I think they got a little too cozy. They did the initial attack with the knights, which was good, and then they got really passive. And I think you're correct. I think Turks pretty much win this by default if it goes too late, but there's gonna be a window in, I would say, early Imperial Age where the Turks can't really get their power units going that the Incas can win it, and that's exactly when skitvibe won. So really, really good to see. Definitely a little passive from karabast's point. Skitvibe as well in some places, but skitvibe got the win. It's good to see. I don't even know. Did we see? Yeah, we saw chemistry. Yeah, because they're Turks. They get chemistry for free.
Yeah, they get it for free. Yeah.
Do you still have to build a university for that, or do you get it?
No, you get it for free. Yeah.
As soon as you're in Imperial. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. No. Great game. Give them blue dot, and we're gonna go to game 2. So we're gonna pause. Woo! And 1, 2, 3, play. All right, we're back for game 2, the semifinal between Karabast as Malay in the red and skitvibe in the blue as Vikings. Everybody's favorite naval civs. On Dennis and I's favorite map. Actually, I think you like this map more than I do a lot, because I
think the T90 Community Cup Islands, I don't really mind so much. You see the amount of wood lines there are in the starting map? Not a lot.
Yes.
So this game's not going to go late. The islands are also rangeable to ships almost entirely. So turtling's not really that much of an option.
Sure.
I think you have more relics on this map to get gold.
Yeah, there's 6 relics total. Or no, there's 8 relics total, and there's 2 on each of the central islands, which I really like. And Malay is going for an immediate dock. Whew.
Yeah, Malay is definitely a favorite civ in this bracket.
We've seen a lot of Malay. Then again, we've seen a lot of Malay on land. We've seen a lot of elephant Malay.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's
One Will Fam.
mostly for elephants, right? So,
Yeah.
and I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be elephants again. But we've not seen that from karabast. And Malay do get the harbor tech, which would kind of protect the docks more. They get free fish, I mean, unlimited fish traps or something like that. So that their food eco from the water could be strong. They advance faster to the next stage. So there's a lot of things that the cool bonuses that Malay can work with. But for me, the civ that I dread on water maps, especially if your opponent can micro, if not, not so much. But if they can micro, Vikings is a pain to deal with. Longboats,
Yep.
masked up,
And
is going to be a
like
painful.
the free carts that they get is I think an underrepresented boon for them. Like the hand cart and the or wheelbarrow and the hand cart is such a good bonus to get for free.
True, true.
Because it means that you can idle your villagers a little bit more than your opponent without feeling that setback so quickly because the rest of your villagers are carrying your economy. One thing I'm gonna give a little shout out to skitvibe, who let's see if we can redeem ourselves. 1, 2, okay, pull out. There we go. That's how we do a TC bore pull. Good job, skitvibe. Way to
Wow.
not let those nerds.
I to this day I never really do
It
a TC
scares me.
board pull, but I mean we can
I'm-
see why from game one, but
Yeah.
still it's
I
kind
think skitvibe has actually done that in every game that we've watched with them. They've managed to do it. It kills me. I think One Will Fam can do it too. I can't. It scares me too much. But I'm going to continue to sing skitvibe's praises because Karabast, while you were complaining about the Vikings, which is a valid complaint, we saw an absolute lamb slaughter at the Karabast camp, and skitvibe was very politely shift queuing their lambs one at a time. Very well done. It does not sound like it matters, but man, when you try to get to feudal age and you're at 475 food, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
the docks
We're getting loom
forward dock
on an
for
island.
forward dock for skit vibe. So if you're going for galleys in feudal age,
I don't think
that's going to be good. But if
I,
it's yeah.
I don't think that skitvibe is going for galleys. I think skitvibe's going for a landing. They've already got loom.
I guess we're about to see. Maybe it's just to lure the second boar. You don't know.
Could be.
What
It is
loom-
quite a far
looms
bore,
are.
actually. That is a very far bore.
It's not. But I mean, I don't
No? Let's
know.
see.
I don't know. It could be just the Village of 15 players I used to. Ooh, that was scary. Okay.
That
Yep.
was weird, right?
No, I think Garrison, but didn't really click on the boar, which I think is good because I think there was a lot of wills in the TC, so I don't know how many volleys would be required. It was actually good to not shoot the boar there.
I think he put 5 and then he put 1, and that was the mistake. But I do think if I remember correctly, your TC will never auto attack a boar. I think you have to target it. So
Yep, that's good. Otherwise, I would lose. Let's imagine a scout just running into your base as you're luring boar, and the TC automatically shoots the boar. That would be painful.
yeah, that's a whole different kind of laming. You could lame your villagers' boars into their TCs.
Yep.
Ugh. Dreadful.
So
We
similar
got a boar
fishing
pull from
ships
Karabast.
from both players. Yeah, boar pull seems to be the story of the set. It seems.
Ooh, Karabast managing to save that village with the last. Oh no! I spoke too soon. They saved one villager and lost the
And
other one.
lost the same boar.
And lost the boar? Oh, dreadful. Okay.
Okay, so this should be.
All right. Well, we got a little, Skit Vibe doesn't know that, but we've got a little bit of revenge from Gaia, the neutral player that controls the animals.
I mean, you are in islands where you don't really expect immediate pressure, and since it's the Jean Bureau bracket, It'll be
But we
amazing
are
if someone actually lands in feudal age. Even I would probably think about landing in feudal, and wait up to castle sometimes because islands is scary and your forward push, if you go for it, you want it to stay. And also
Skit
these
Vibe is
islands are small, so I don't
Skit
know.
Vibe is pushing deer.
Yeah, it's it looks like Malay is thinking a castle drop, maybe transport and castle drop, but there's no forward dock, so if maybe it's a defensive castle into karambits. I don't know. It'd be a lot of options for the players. Second dock forward for Skit Vibe, which I really like.
I like that they've got one dock on either side of the neutral islands. They don't know that, right? But it's still it's a good happenstance that they can cover that middle trough very well. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about either.
But my
But
point is that the map layout of where the neutral islands are and where the boats have to go around, I like that they have a production point at
I do
both points
think
in the
that
middle.
you could be right about the landing because barracks comes up, but no, galley is queued. But yeah, barracks comes up, so I thought maybe archery range in the enemy island, but no transport ship so far. I guess the barracks is only for defense if someone lands.
Do you think that T90 put woodline on the neutral islands to prevent people from building 3 archery ranges on them? You know, nobody knows who may have done that mistake.
Yeah, I think on regular islands it's sometimes hard to see which part of the map you're on, right? You know, like you
Yeah.
don't know if you're landing in the neutral island or the main island. So yeah, and also it's kind of scary when you go to the opponent's island and you try to set up your forward base. It's hard to scout and then drop your archery ranges. So yeah,
Yeah.
it totally can happen to me as well.
Well, and also because it's going to happen. You're going to unload your transport ship, and the enemy scout's going to be right there
Okay,
every time.
fires are already queued, so fires should be able to defend against galleys. It's all about micro, and right now 3 against 2. I think I would favor fire galleys at the moment. And also defender's advantage where you can repair, and Carabas is just thinking about a fish boom with fish traps in the back of the base. That's the feel or vibe that I'm getting. Both players have actually dropped the barracks and have opted for no transport ships, so there's no landing so far. But maybe in early Castle Age, there's an idea of a castle drop idea from Karabast, which is possible. So how's the scouting in the map? So Karabest obviously doesn't really have any kind of vision on the opponent's base. Skit Vibe can now start scouting the opponent's island using the galleys. So, or just defend the docks, which seems to be the idea. Okay, they're moving forward. 3 of them are moving forward, so we'll get to see what they are doing. There is blacksmith that comes up, so maybe market next, and Carabas thinks of going up to Castle Age soon.
2 more docks on
There
Skit
is
Vibe.
five fire ships queued for Malay, so Malay can actually win water with this production.
Yeah, but when 2 more docks hit and there's galleys coming out of all of them, I think Vikings will win eventually, right?
I mean, it's all about the micro right now.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see how Skit Vibe is able to micro the galleys, because if Skit Vibe can micro the galleys, they can win water.
Or if the fire ships are split up like they are.
3 fire ships should be fine if they don't micro. They're not micro properly because they are counter units to the galleys, so they will melt the units. But it does look like Karabest is going straight to the back. Ooh,
Okay, he's fixing it though.
another Man at Arms upgrade, but this time it's with the Civ that will get the free armor in the next stage. So with Malay, it might be something that he can go for. The fire ships are
I
slowly
like that
creeping through.
I like that the houses are being built close to the coast to just keep an eye out. I don't know what the sight range is. Not too great, but still. Maybe that's not intentional. Looks like it might be. There's a lot of galleys.
Okay, slowly.
Got a transport ship for red.
Okay, yeah, so that is a forward castle drop idea there. And fire ships probably gonna drop it close to the shoreline and protect the castle drop with fire ship. Maybe that's why it's so many fire ships were queued. Second TC as well, and okay, here we have
First contact.
first contact and no micro. So without micro, fire ships will win because they're counter units. So
Well, the micro was recalling the larger group of fire ships to go fight. Or I'm sorry, the larger group of galleys to turn around.
I guess we are about to find out. 2 against 5. 2 against so many. 2 against 9. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Nope. I still think fire ships would have it. But now maybe we'll get to see the micro. But it's good enough trade, honestly, for...
Aren't fire ships
Karabast.
more expensive?
I don't think so. But there is also War Galley upgrade comes in, so... they should be doing pretty well against feudal age galleys now, and probably could snipe the fishing ships now that karabast slowly but steadily goes around the base. And okay, so the galleys are good in sniping fishing ships, but there are there's 1 transport and 2 fire ships in the back. The cleanup happened. Is just gonna be happy melting the dock now. Okay, yeah, just gonna be happy.
Unfortunately, Karabast does not know about all of Blue's docks.
Okay, skitvibe sneaking to the back of the base.
I like it.
And now Karabast sees it.
Attacking the dock accidentally, I think.
Karabast also, sorry, skitvibe also doesn't really see the transport ship, so... But now, still doesn't see it. Okay. The fire ships are not really taking out the galleys.
There they go.
Okay,
Now
they are. Okay. So I think...
But we've got longboats coming in.
there's not enough longboats yet. And with the amount of upgrades... I mean, 2 fire ships are just idling next to the dock here for Karabast, which is not ideal. But I think Karabast is set to win water and go for the castle drop, and the transport ship is being loaded up. It's actually looking up for Karabast right now.
4 more docks on the north side of skitvibe's base. But I appreciate it, but we don't have the eco yet. We need a lot more villagers first.
Okay, so... Alright, so the fire ships need to just take out the mast before they get there. So this is really good. This kills a lot of longboats there. But yeah, longboats
but they're retreating now.
I think you keep massing fire ships if you are Malay, but you can actually drop the... If your forward castle goes up in your opponent's island, you can kind of shift focus and... ooh, this castle goes in defense, which means you need a lot of fires to regain water. Vikings are a pain to deal with. There is Botkin on the longboats as well, so this is going to be...
Longboats could actually deny that castle. Oh, they might.
Do they know about the castle?
Yup.
Okay,
yep.
They know about it now.
Oh, go. Nah, he's not paying attention. That sucks. You can still deny it. There's only a few villagers.
The fire ships are just idling, which I'm not a fan of.
Oh, is he turning back around?
I mean, maybe you need to idle because you can't take the engagement, but I don't know. I think there's just a lot going on right now, so...
Got 10 villagers at the back.
There's 2 TCs for Karabast and 1 TC from skitvibe, so it's good in that sense.
10 villagers in the corner for karabast. Waiting for a distracted moment to land.
Okay, so there is actually 2 TCs from skitvibe as well. It's just 1 TC is not producing.
And 1 TC is very close to the shore, too.
Okay, so this is gonna be... Finally, skitvibe's gonna take control of the water, but you can split focus with that landing. Where is the transport ship? There's
In
2
the corner.
transport ships.
Yes, with 10 villagers. I said that. Did you not hear me?
Oh, okay, okay. You can actually upgrade the transport ship to get more space within one of them, but I guess this works.
They had been dispatched before they aged up. They've actually been there for a few minutes.
All right, so what is it going to be barracks? Is it going to be a castle? Because there is a castle drop. Okay. And that's going to take out 1 dock and potentially allow you to dock or put more barracks in. Karambits running through the eco is also going to be fun. So a lot of options here. And
Going monastery at the red base to deal with the longships. I would assume.
so all the fishing ships goes down, and as expected, Vikings is just a powerhouse in water, but it is going to be a land game soon. And how does
2
skitvibe
docks
react
under
to
the
that?
castle.
Yep, 2 docks. I would definitely say you want to queue units from your castle as well, and there is karambits queued, so that's good. You get the free armor, which makes the raiding something that you can do immediately. You would need archers, I believe, against the karambits. There's no archery range so far in defense. In mass as well, karambits is going to be a pain to deal with. So they produce so much faster. Right now, already 10 karambits garrisoned in the castle.
Yeah, it is kind of an insane unit. Just that their primary focal point is that they create so quickly.
You probably want to take the fight under the castle for now.
Yes. Here the karambits come. Man, I love these units. They're so cool. We're going stables with Vikings. Okay. For what? What do you build as Vikings with a stable, Dennis?
Knights.
For what, though? Karambits?
I mean, that seems to be the idea right now.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Or we're thinking of doing our own land raid, maybe?
I mean, I wouldn't be too hard on karabast when I know a player who made a stable against Genovese crossbowmen.
Oh, the unit that I've never played against before? Yeah.
Yeah.
That unit?
Yep, that's that unit. Oh, Arson comes in for karabast as well. Oh, karabast is really thinking of ending it in Castle Age.
It's very much the I can't lose if I win now.
Okay, they are in groups. They are pretty good, and no bloodlines for the Vikings.
Yeah, that's not enough knights.
Yeah, I think you need archers. Ooh, they as I say that, they actually clear them up. Maybe not. So do you make barracks for pikemen? It seems to be the idea. You need a range upgrade on the castle. You can't have longboats outranging the castle and taking them out. Okay, Karambits is now thinking I'll just take out the docks and...
I guess knights do counter karambits. I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah.
They're weak to cavalry. I didn't know that. I do not play melee.
But pikemen being queued.
There is a bit of a problem here for the Viking player. They need food. They need lots of food. Like a large quantity of food.
Yeah, I think all the fishing ships went down. I think you need to queue up more fishing ships. You have a lot of wood for it to actually queue the fishing ships. in the back
Yeah.
and get the...
And you've got the longboats to defend them too.
Okay, now that was a terrible fight for karabast. And I guess houses for vision, or scared of another castle drop, potentially.
Just close to getting housed, and probably aware that they have to start booming out fishing ships like crazy.
Right now, I think skitvibe is content with just massing
Okay. The
longboats.
longboats patrolling under the castle and avoiding the castle fires causing me physical pain.
Yeah, that's range of 8 and range of 8 plus 1. Yeah, I think this should be good for... Yeah, I think it's probably worth getting something here. I don't know. It's fine, but food eco is back online for karabast. There's no horse collar, so it's a little bit hard on the wood eco because the wood, you'll run out of wood very quickly if you don't. I would definitely
like the
say
small group of longboats on the back clearing up the docks. I like that.
yeah, that's because Malay, you do get unlimited fish traps, so losing that is going to be painful. I would probably, I mean, against longboats, you can't even dock under the castle and fish
Not
trap
really,
there.
no.
Yeah, because you can just snipe it. So, what is the reaction right now? Because right now, skitvibe is relaxing. It was a good attempt, but
I am a little nervous that skitvibe is holding this off, but that's kind of it, if that makes sense. Like, they need food. They need to start rebuilding their fish economy.
I mean,
desperately.
I understand because, I mean, island game, especially after a landing, where you also have most of your army in the water, it's kind of hard to deal with. I mean, right now, there's a lot on wood. You can queue farms, but is that something that you'll think about when you have the complete water control? Actually, with the water control, you can queue fishing ships and fish trap yourself. It's not as efficient as Malay, but you can do it. But for now,
okay, I love that castle from skitvibe, actually.
Castle it down, and you do get...
Okay, the pikemen do clear up the knights. This castle's probably not going up.
That is true.
Yeah, we need to sell wood and start rebuilding our economy. We're down by 15 or so villagers.
I would not sell wood. I would just basically...
With 3,000? Well, okay, sell wood or convert it into fishing ships.
Yeah, fishing ships with traps, just go for it. Because I think you need food eco, and you have 4 docks. You can produce out of 4 docks immediately with the wood. Yeah, then all the better, right? You can make 7 fishing ships at a time. Spend the 3,000 wood very, very quickly and get the food for it. If you sell it, I don't know if it's gonna ever be a wood game in this situation, but I think if you fish trap and have food eco in the water, gold eco on land, that's gonna be pretty good for you, especially if you actually land even in the center. I think with water control you can do that.
I think a defensive castle would be beneficial at this point, to cover the remaining part of the base.
Did skitvibe lose the stone for the castle? It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, they pushed off. They went down to the southern.
That can be rough now. I mean, right now going for
5 ranges going up.
You
Which I think
barely
is fine.
have the necessary upgrades for it, but yeah, you have the stone now, so you can push it back for now. But Malay actually has the resources for imp right now, so Malay can click up. They will go up to imp much faster than you, and Trebs will be in production soon. This is very well played from karabast.
Agreed. I will say though that since their landing, they have largely been left alone. We've taken out the blacksmith and the market on the outskirts, which is good. You know, them not being able to get the imp upgrades is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's the nature of islands, right? If you actually land, then you're essentially thinking, okay, I'm going to lose my whole eco if I don't focus on this, and you're actually not able to defend against this. You lose essentially your whole eco, and you don't have a counterattack going because you don't have.
It's a little frustrating to
else.
see 5 archery ranges built with no archers in production.
I mean, even if you produce archers now, you don't have crossbow. Yeah, I think berserks is a good idea because berserks should do well against karambits.
Yeah,
But
no,
I
agreed.
don't know
I
if
just
you.
think archers would be helpful.
But I still think that karabast. This is karabast game to lose right now because you take out all the houses. Now it's gonna skitvibe's gonna be pop capped soon, potentially. Because there's a lot of houses that's not in range of the castle. There is one treb in production. A market, because apparently Karabas didn't have a market so far.
He lost his market.
Okay.
Skit vibe longboat. Am I low volume or something?
You're there. I think the issue is more like you're muted every
Muted?
so often. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I think the push to talk is the issue, not your audio setup.
No, because I'm seeing myself in the monitor. But okay.
Oh, no, I can hear you now. But in case you were saying something and I couldn't hear you, did I speak over you?
Maybe. I don't know. It's happened a few times this game, so I'm just trying to figure out what am I doing wrong.
Okay, sounds good.
Why do you ignore me, Dennis? We have an elite Karambit warrior coming in.
Oh, that's gonna be good. I think this is done. I mean, there's no villagers queued for Malay, and there's no water presence for Malay, and that's probably the one reason why this game's not completely over. But I still think that skitvibe's resources are depleted, and you have, what, 28 food. Even if you land now, you don't really have much in the way of eco to sustain that forward pressure.
Yeah, I think Skitvibe needed to pivot to fishing ships when we said and start cranking out military. And I like the switch to berserkers.
Probably, but
I like the switch to berserkers, but I don't know. I think it's a little too late, and it's also not enough.
You're in castle age and your opponent is an imp, right? So, and karambits produce so fast. Even if you lose karambits here, you can probably take the fight.
Yeah, and not only that, they're fully upgraded.
Yeah.
Well, not fully upgraded, but nearly fully upgraded.
So longboat's trying to snipe more, but now Botkin is in for Malay, so it's not going to be as easy as it was to snipe everything.
This was actually a really, really good game from Karabast. Really well played. Very clearly an executed plan from start to finish.
There's 44 karambits now, but he's being patient. He doesn't want to lose the 44 karambits to some kind of pressure, so probably just getting the trebs ready again to push down the castle. And once the castle goes down, the entire eco is exposed for skitvibe and the game's going to be over. So I think we're just waiting for the last castle to fall.
No, agreed. I think this has been masterfully played by Karabast. This is a earned win for sure. If it does lead that way, I'm not sure how skitvibe could come back, but they could. I've been wrong before.
Skitvibe has very little food eco. The woodline, 2 woodlines or 3 woodlines are denied by castles from the landing. There's only 1 woodline for skitvibe now. And,
yeah, we're still building longboats. I'm not entirely sure I understand why we're still building longboats at this point. We've built tons of longboats when we're losing on land.
Skitvibe has 6 fishing ships, so there's some food eco there, 3 farms, but the trebs are out, and honestly, it's just I think there's more of a reset for Skitvibe, where Skitvibe just needs to be going, okay, this is islands, not the best map for me, this is the home map for my opponent, potentially,
And it
because
shows, right?
yeah, and 4 trebs, yeah, the castle's going down, and also has a 2 castle stack to protect themselves even more. Um, Karabast is thinking I'll wait until 200 pop, I guess. Okay, skitvibe's thinking I'll take out the market again.
Once wasn't enough.
And skitvibe has the castle. Would that be an idea for landing? I don't think so. I think it's just going to be another castle in defense probably to play on, but 4 trebs are going to just melt everything. The skirms are going to die to karambits.
Yeah, I'm not sure about skirms here. You had the right call with knights, but I guess we just didn't have the economy for it. I think maybe a landing on one of the neutral islands would have been good, but we needed more food. This whole game, skitvibe was very low on food the whole time. I also firmly disagree with the amount of longboats that we were building when we were dealing with a land war.
GG.
It felt like we were
a
screaming
tight
longboats.
set. It is a tight set. And we are going on to game 3.
53 longboats. That was a good game. That was a very decisive victory from karabast. After accusing them of passivity in game 1, to see this from karabast was really, really cool. This was very clearly the home map, I would imagine.
Yeah, and another win for Malay in the Jean Bureau bracket. And what is that? 3.
I think it is genuinely 3 wins for Malay.
Yeah.
So we should have a stats video when we're all done with this, of like, hey guys, this is what we noticed from you.
Yeah, and potentially we are going into a home map set for skitvibe, where skitvibe could potentially make a comeback.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna pause and we'll keep going with game 3.
3 play. Hello, and we're back for game 3 on slopes between karabast in the red as the Huns and skitvibe in the blue as one of my favorites, Magyars. This is probably the most common map that I think we've seen in this entire tournament. Would you agree with that, Dennis?
True.
For this bracket.
I think in general too. I think I don't know what Huns, but I'm pretty sure Magyars can stack up pretty well on this map, because it's fairly open. There's slopes, and Huns also is a very aggressive civ. The wall up can be difficult because you don't have houses, but you can still wall up, and you will have the army lead because of all the wood savings. You can go for 2 stables, or you can go for a stable and archery range. You can do a bunch of things. I've not played enough of Huns to see what is the most optimal way to play, but definitely more aggressive and feudalage seems to be how this could play out because of the matchup that we have at the moment. And I mean, it is important. This is the second recording session for us, right? We stopped after game 2, and we saw skitvibe lose the boar in game 1, rallied, came back and won the first game. Then karabast lost the boar lost a will and the boar in islands, and then did an amazing landing, and then won the game. So far, people who lose the boar apparently will win the game, at least so far.
The boar is a sacrifice.
Yeah, it is sacrifice to the gods to let them win this semifinal.
They're trying to make way for that Age of Mythology release.
Oh yeah, I've not played Age of Mythology. I've heard a lot about it.
It's very it feels more like AoE 2 than the other games.
Okay.
Because it has mythological units, I think that it's not quite as refined as like a chess-like as AoE 2.
Okay.
But that being said, and people who've played it can agree with me in the comments if they want, the campaign is amazing. The campaign for Age of Mythology is absolutely phenomenal. Okay. And it's very long. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's where the mule cart comes from.
All right. No will kills from the 2 boar lures, so that kind of worked out for both players so far.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous about these four geese on Karabast's base. Wait, oh right, I'm dumb. I'm like, wait, hang on.
Oh,
Karabast doesn't-
there was a lame attempt from Karabast Scout.
Oh,
And now Karabast has a weaker scout, so that scout's going to die. So that lame did not pay off.
I do like that they're shepherding the geese under their town center after.
So
losing
Karabast
their
is like,
scout.
I might as well lose the... Okay. Tried to kill a geese to make up for the fact that he's going to lose the scout, but that didn't work
Karabast
out.
immediately pulled 4 geese under their town center as soon as that fight started, which I thought was really good because they were very exposed before that.
Yeah. I mean,
For a moment,
this whole fight happened in Skitvibe's base.
No, but no. So the fight happened at Skitvibe's base, but Karabast went back to their town center, grabbed their 4 sheep that were towards that stone, or 4 geese towards that stone, and pulled them under the TC in case their scout came running to get revenge. Lame.
Okay.
May not have been intentional, but it looked intentional.
Yep. That was good. And Skitvibe's now just scouting the sides of the base. Not really even looking at the main base of Karabast yet. Initially just looked at the expansion potentially. Maybe that's a sign of what Skitvibe might be looking for as well.
I
Okay,
don't like casting Huns because I keep going, where are the houses?
Oh. Yeah, but the wood savings would be insane on this map long term.
I imagine so, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why they can play into that very aggressive gameplay. But yeah, it's we've not seen Huns played in this bracket so far, have we? Okay, Huns.
I don't think so.
Huns is going for militia, so that's going to be an early. I think it was early enough for Skitvibe to be taken a little bit by surprise. So I like the messiness and activity with the army. All right.
Got an exposed villager. Oh, 2. Oh, it's 2 villagers. That's gonna get hurt.
Is there a loom? There's no loom. That's why Skitvibe tried to dive. And there is a weak will who can be killed. The weak will still in the lumber camp, not really going to the TC. So, but yeah, the scout just moves away, and no loom worked out. And Skitvibe not going to know about the militia? Not yet, but is kind of hovering around the barracks.
Oh, he might now.
But Karabast is also moving out to try to... Oh, okay, spotted. Nice. That was nice scouting from Skitvibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to block because now the scout is weak.
Got our own,
but
we've
now
got our
you
own
can
militia coming down, or our own barracks rather.
Yeah, and then you probably will drop an archer range immediately, is what I would think. There's no one in gold. There is a back gold on this map. I think that's standard, so maybe that'll be fine. Let's see what they go for.
I like pulling back the bush villagers. That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not to be garrisoned, but just getting them.
Oh,
off that
militia. I mean, scouting, you already lost this. Okay, need to go inside, I guess, but you can always run around. Going for the barracks first, so far, it looks like.
I
But
think he's looking for the wood line.
Yep. Looking for the wood line. But Loom should be in right now. Loom is in, yep.
We're transitioning to a new wood line at the same time. I like that a lot.
And I like the scout from Skitvibe's not idle, just going in front. But yeah, of course, it was more. I think it was more of a shift click. So right now idle.
We're going stable rather than archery range, which I don't know if that's correct, but
I mean,
we
if
do
you
only see 3 militia. So.
I mean, you can wall them off and be safe, and I think Skitvibe's making militia against militia and maybe fight with wills to stop that. There's no man-at-arms upgrade yet, so... But yeah, there is 3v2. You probably need to pull wills and fight with villagers here. Otherwise, you...
Yep,
yeah,
there it
okay.
is.
That's what they're doing. Pull the villager, maybe. Villager killed, yeah, okay. All right, at least
Okay.
one will kill from the, oh, two will kills
One
from
kill.
the, oh, one will kill and one militia kill. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of idols too, and so that was kind of worth it. But karabast is kind of idled a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a good outcome, but it wasn't negative. So I guess it has to have been, right?
Yeah, I
It
think.
was a small positive.
Yeah, right now skitvibe's not kind of just going through a smooth build, right? Because of that, he needed to react, make militia. There's a lot more going on with the eco now. Need to kind of balance out the food. Karabast
He was
has more
able to
food.
react pretty cleanly, which I like.
Oh yeah, that was good reaction. And
Where are you
Magyar
guys
scouts
going?
are going to be good with
Where are
archers, so
these?
there is pikes mixed in. What are you looking at, Scratch?
These 3 villagers on the west.
I think it's
Where are they
just an
going?
expansion lumber camp to the left.
Oh yeah, he hadn't scouted that. That's why they're moving weirdly.
Yep, probably just
Maybe.
click to the sides completely.
Wonder if this is him trying to keep karabast honest, making sure that he's not dropping an archer range on the back end or something.
I mean, it
Oh,
would either
or
be
it's just
the
a misclick. Or it's
Oh.
just a misclick.
that would be unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
But there is a scout production that has started, so there's going to be scouts in the base. Huns, we've spoken already about how they don't have houses, so they can't really drop quick walls as easily. And the entire right side is open for karabast. But
I really like this wall up from skitvibe. It's actually pretty defensive. Like we've got our bushes covered, we've got the gold covered. I think there's a hole in it, but I'm not sure.
I like that there's 3 scouts, kind of accounting for Magyar scouts. But I would like some in defense. I think skitvibe is also making some in defense. Alright, so the scouts are out. The archers are in, and the gold that's being actively taken now is actually...
Being evacuated.
Yep, it's evacuated. I think back gold, you can just move to the back gold and tower your wood line maybe and go up to castle edge. I think that those are the 2 spots right now that you're vulnerable at. Your wood line and your gold. Maybe
switching to stone.
karabast is just going to see if there's a lumber camp that's on the expansion that we thought that skitvibe's going to have. But we know, because we're casting, that there's nothing there.
Second stable on the back. Okay.
Okay, so there's going to be more investment in feudal age, and that's always nice to see. The wall up from Huns is a little bit ambitious, and the walling villager is exposed against Magyar scouts, but the scout is weak, so maybe that's not going to happen. But yep, going for the secondary gold. Now maybe you just go to primary gold and start taking that because... But stone
be
is being
honest,
taken,
that,
so yeah.
That pivot by the villagers was really nice. Around the stable and the
Yeah.
house to get
Yeah.
cover on the tower. Really good.
Yeah, I mean,
Big fan of that.
skitvibe maybe can soon... I think this is good value for karabast. Anyway, has the resources to click up the castle. Karabast is in a very, very good spot here. I mean, the eco is not great because the villages were not queued, but if you're in castle age is castle age, maybe you don't have the eco to produce as much. Maybe skitvibe will have a stronger eco once they reach castle. Actually,
Well,
I don't know.
To be
I don't-
perfectly honest, these spearmen and these archers haven't really gotten any value. Yeah, they've gotten some idle time, but really not all that much, right?
They've killed 4 units, but yeah, probably mostly army units. And
Yeah, it was the 2 scouts and the militia.
yeah, I think the idle time definitely hurts karabast. But oh, and also fletching was not in. That's kind of why there weren't more will kills here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But fletching is in now, and being active with archers is something that we need to appreciate, because when I'm up to castle age, I'm thinking I need archer numbers and I'll just go back. And karabast here knows that there's a window where damage can be made.
Skitvibe is watching these villagers on the back end like a hawk, though.
Yep, true.
I watched that pull off from the stone and go right back to it when they get out of sight. Really good.
I still think that it's worth actually camping the stone if castle is the idea there, because you don't want that kind of initiative with a castle drop. But yeah, there's you can stop that tower, honestly, especially now that it's you can
there's too many villagers to bring it, or there's not enough villagers to bring that tower up.
you can kill the tower and can take the stone off. Okay, that's been deleted, so that was good, or not deleted actually. Okay, that was just the house, so yeah, it was deleted. But there is a window here. I mean, it is a weak eco for Huns now with just 20 vills, and also Walling Villager with that included. It's very weak, but has the Castle Age advantage. Now skitvibe has a choice to make. Just be aggressive and feudal and kind of take them off gold. But now the Magyar Scouts are still very inactive because of the archers. I think even if there was nothing done, I think because skitvibe had to watch for those archers, Magyar Scouts just stayed at home the whole time.
And now the Huns are transitioning into cavalry archers.
Yep. True.
Which I think, by definition, Magyar cavalry archers are better eventually,
I
right?
don't know why Market was deleted. Maybe wanted to place it in a different spot.
Maybe.
But yeah, there's no market, so you need to collect 600 food to go up to castle. And feudal age units are much weaker than castle age units. So there's no botkin, so the cav archers are not going to be immediately scary. But there is university coming up, so maybe ballistic cav archers are going to be painful for skitvibe. But okay, the market eventually comes up. Maybe just want it to be part of the wall.
And we've got a town center on the east for karabast on the expansion.
I mean, this is looking really good for karabast. I mean, the idle time with the TC is the only reason why I'm thinking that this is probably something. And how open karabast is why I'm thinking this is going to be still hard. But
These scouts are dead. Oh, maybe not.
Okay, well, so
skitvibe is playing this very conservatively. They're doing a lot of garrisons of their villagers that I don't necessarily think they've done in earlier games.
I think it's just once you're in a knockout stage, there's additional pressure. How you react to that pressure also matters, right? So there's skirms here, but skirms without fletching, skirms without armor, and the archers can use the pikes as meat shield and take the fight here, or just run away. And there's cav archers coming in, which together you can throw away the archers and for the skirms. And like I said before, because of how Huns play out, you can actually have a bigger army lead and maybe even go for a big boom behind this.
Do you agree with what I said earlier, that if this goes down to cav archer versus cav archer, that the Magyars would win that out eventually?
If it's a straight cav archer v cav archer, yeah, of course.
Eventually, though, right? Because it's not really until Imperial Age that they are better, right?
Yeah, but only.
Or no, because they can make them faster, right?
Yeah, there's also the numbers also matter, right? Right now, Huns always, if you play them with a good plan, you always will have the army numbers. And I mean, Magyars could have actually had the initiative by active scouts, but the scouts stayed kind of at home. I think it's also like pressure because of the archers. But yeah, there's ballistics coming up, so it's kind of like a semi-boom with 2 TCs from karabast. Already has the will lead, so, and is in castle age. So once castle age is clicked, there's going to be more wills working for karabast. So long term, this is looking really good for karabast. And
yeah, this is definitely a game where skitvibe has kind of been taken off of their comfort zone, I think, because we're seeing a lot of idle TC and a lot of defensive play, which is not how I think we've seen skitvibe up until now.
I mean,
so
I mean, let's put our heads in the mind of skitvibe now, right? If you're in skitvibe's shoes right now, you're in feudal age, and your opponent's in castle age. I think the thought now is defense. Let's get to castle age without taking too much damage, and that's kind of where I think skitvibe's head is at, with the 12 skirms to fight against cav archers, and honestly comes with a pretty good
Ooh,
eco, but probably not time to wall right now. But yeah, I think skitvibe needs to be active. Karabast can sit back and boom now. It's up to skitvibe to bring on the pressure in Castle Age. You cannot sit back and idle. I mean, if you are booming, maybe that's also a choice. What do you think, Scratch? Well, what would you do in skitvibe shoes right now?
I think that we need to do a forward expansion. I think we need to ignore the sides, and I think we need to start taking spots in the middle
Okay.
and progressing. My fear is that they're going to castle drop a market. You know, because of
okay.
how open air this this base is. I'm worried that they're going to see the wall, see the market, and just castle drop right there and not realize that they're only halfway up the map. That being said, the 2 more archery ranges coming from Karabast is pretty good at preventing that. But we've got the stone. I think that we need to start considering developing this position forward and dropping castles and maybe going siege.
Yep.
Possibly.
You're talking about siege.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
the castle.
Hans is thinking about light cav. Right now, the light cav upgrade has come in, so there's light cav and cav archers out there. TCs have been idle, so maybe
They were thinking a defensive castle instead.
yeah, that's all up to Karabast because of how active the cav archers have been, right? So
Yeah.
just been hitting here and there, kind of keeping skitvibe off of their regular momentum and complete map control for Karabast at the moment. But with the skirms and eventually with knights, potentially could push back. But skirm knight is harder to control than 2 mobile units with cav archers and light cav. But
I like the light cav edition just in case skitvibe goes the route that I proposed with siege.
yeah, I think it's
Really good.
mostly for skirms at the moment, right? But yeah, I think
Skirms,
long
yeah.
term, I think even for against siege, it'll be good to snipe the siege. So yeah,
Now
There's-
I don't like this defensive castle actually.
it's
because
way too defensive, right? Not protecting
it's actually really
too
good.
much.
It's on the stone, so it can lead to more castles. But at
Okay.
the same time, I don't like that it's not aggressive. We're now kind of falling into the formula of we've got enemies on our doorstep. They're not actually threatening us. They're just hanging out, and we're being passive as a result. And that's just going to give the Huns player more room to make more cavalry archers.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is
I think I agree with you. I think right now, if there's 2 options, you either boom with more TCs, or you put on the pressure with like 2 stables, maybe not. Maybe siege workshop, something. Essentially, put pressure on them. But yeah, I think the numbers, like the army numbers, look crazy right now. I mean, you can see 22 from skitvibe, but the skirms are counter units, so they're going to be more defensive. Whereas light cav and cav archers can do a lot. There's more potential for.
Yeah, it is wild to me that we got in a castle age with this many skirmishers on the field and we didn't click elite skirmisher immediately
True.
because they're dead.
Yep, they are dead from this side, and there's going to be more elite skirms. More skirms. On the other side, trying to defend against cav archers, but the light cav, it's just light cav. And honestly, kudos to Karabast for a while at least. Kept booming. Now I think because the army is active, stop producing wills again. The knights are running in. There's 3 knights in the base, and there's exposed gold villagers that can be killed. Exposed farming eco from Karabast, so maybe there's
That
a window. Yeah.
Counter raid right now seems very risky with the number of army that you just saw, especially since they're cav archers, so they can respond and kill knights.
But can you not just kill the wills and then run back? You have a castle protection, you just run back. Maybe you make a monastery, heal them up, and come back.
You can, you just have to remember to do that, right?
Yeah, true. But I think we agree on one point that skitvibe needs to do something. I think Karabast can just sit back and boom it out. has enough damage to take them through the late game now.
And we've got mangonels coming in for the Huns players, so
Okay.
this is looking really rough for skitvibe, unfortunately.
Yep.
We've kind of been hemmed into a corner. I like the knights. I think the knights are a good play. I also wouldn't mind siege of your own.
Look at that
Oh,
center
this
presence
is not good.
from
Yeah.
Karabast. That is insane.
That immediate
love
conversion.
It. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be, skitvibe. Sorry.
Wow. Yep, and the castle forward, and skitvibe knows about the castle forward because of the way wills are moving, but
24 cavalry archers.
Yep, the cav archers with ballistics, so they're gonna pack a big punch, and okay, skitvibe just calls it.
I don't blame him. Well done, Karabast. That was an amazing amount of pressure, and you were able to keep up. There was some idle time where you were kind of flipping between, do I make more villagers? Do I just keep going army? Do I make more villagers? Do I keep going army? I think at the end of the day, you probably got army numbers this high because you weren't making too many villagers. But again, you got up to 57, so I'm not mad about that.
Also, it's Huns, right? So I think he could have still produced. He has
that's true.
580
Yeah.
food, 930 gold. Yeah. He could have made more villages, but yeah,
just didn't.
Didn't. Yeah, he just idled.
But I like that every step of this game had a follow up. I really like that a lot. You dropped the archery range early. You didn't really use it. You used the archers. But when that kind of got fought back, you pivoted to cavalry archers, and then from that point forward, every step and decision you made was to reinforce that. You were making, you kind of stopped walling up your base and said, "I'll just have map control." You did boom out on the side. I would have liked some form of defense over here, maybe just a couple of cav archers left under that TC. But no, you there was an amount of pressure, and you forced. You didn't see this, but like the castle that you are setting up to drop, that's exactly where skitvibe was putting their castle, and then they realized there's too much pressure, I have to be defensive, and that's perfect. That's exactly what you want to do, especially when your base isn't walled up. So no, really well played, and a good game from skitvibe as well. Just maybe I think we need to take what I just complimented Karabast on. We need to take that second step into account. If we're just reacting, we're not circling the game back to our win condition. We're just responding to our opponent's win condition. I think the towers were fine. I don't like towers as a defense generally, just because they can be ignored, especially if you can reasonably assume that your opponent is going cavalry units eventually. I don't know. It's hard for me to pinpoint a moment where skitvibe misplayed in this game. It, to me, is more just that Karabast was making quicker decisions and they were making aggressive decisions. So I think they won out for that reason mainly.
Yeah, I think Karabast made it messy, right? I think skitvibe,
yes.
If skitvibe's left alone, kind of calm the nerves and play into late game, I think skitvibe would essentially do a night rush or a scout rush or whatever the plan was. Came in with that early Dark Age militia, forced skitvibe to react with militia of their own, which consumes food, and didn't really had like 2 scouts produced, didn't really produce more. And had enough mess in the eco to idle skitvibe's TC, not have the eco working as much, and then went up to Castle Age earlier, and then once you're in Castle Age earlier, mentally opponent is down, making skirms and thinking defense and survive to Castle Age. And then with Huns just swarmed with the military, the switch to light cab was quick. Even after dropping second TC, decided, okay, I need map control more. Switch to light cab and just control the map. I think map control essentially won Karabast the game, but mostly because of the messiness caused by all that early army presence. So
yeah, no, that's true. Karabast was definitely making skitvibe play the game that skitvibe did not want to play. And I really do think that messiness and map control won this game out. But really, what we saw here was Karabast knew, like, I have to close this game out in this way, and they did that. There wasn't any decisions, I don't think, that pivoted away from that method, right?
Yeah. I think this is really good game. I mean, it did seem like Karabast came in thinking Huns, Cav Archer is the plan because ballistics was also pretty early, which makes those Cav Archers more dangerous. Sniping villagers with ballistic Cav Archers and being mobile enough to threaten multiple spots kind of puts you in a very difficult spot, especially when Skit Vibe was also in feudal age at that point. So even if you had skirms, you can not be at multiple spots at once, which made it very
Yeah,
difficult for.
we saw like 30, no, not 30, like 20, 25 skirms on the field, I think. But unfortunately, they were hemmed into the back because even though they're counter unit, there was so much map control and army presence on the board that Skit Vibe's only choice was to defend that precious back end with the golden stone. So yeah, unfortunately, I wish I had advice. I don't really know what Skit Vibe needed to do here, other than it would have been a very slow fight to regain map control.
I mean, if what Skit Vibe needed to do, essentially keep your eco working when the archers came there. Archers did not have fletching. The tower was very conservative, would have dropped right next to the gold and just been on gold, not on stone. I think Skit Vibe went too much on stone too early. I think the castle and the amount of wills needing to drop that castle, all those resources could have been on gold and food and wood, and you could have been in Castle Age much earlier, or you could have counterattacked in a much better way because you're up against Huns. One thing that you can be certain of is exposed eco, especially in early game. So you also were here with knights. You kind of knew that the walls on the right were not completely available. So it's just I think the thought process was shut down by the messiness of the game. So, but
Sure.
yeah, I think that was the way for Skit Vibe to come back. Essentially, be active with the army and protect your vulnerable spots. You didn't need to completely wall it off. Just tower on the gold and just make your way to Castle Age. But I mean, not even Castle Age. Maybe you just go all in feudal and hit the gold eco. The gold eco was not hit at all, which allowed the Cav Archer switch to be as easy as it was.
True. Yeah, Karabast was able to make this game so messy that I don't think they were ever threatened. Even when the knights showed up, they didn't really accomplish anything.
Yeah, it was
So, yeah.
very late to the. Yeah. Anyway, on to game 4, and Skit Vibe needs a win here. And we will be going to Skit Vibe's home map. Was this Skit Vibe's home map? I'm not sure. Islands was actually this was Skit Vibe's home map. So, but there will be another home map probably that Skit Vibe picked. And
I think so.
and that's the game that we'll probably play. And we'll see you there.
All right. And 1, 2, 3, play. All right, here we are, game 4 on Pants. We've got Karabast in the red as Armenians and Skit Vibe in the blue as Byzantines on a truly wacky and crazy map. Can do a lot here with a little, I think. Like, there's only 10 fishing. No, I'm sorry, I can't count. It's early. There's only 8 fishing spots in the middle, so don't need to overcommit too much to food.
True.
But
I mean,
it still becomes highly contested anyway, generally. You can't wall this up really easily. You can, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I did notice that we were talking about. Can we dock wall? No, apparently we cannot. Even with the dock, you can walk around the dock. So you need to kind of wall it out of the pond. Wall yourself out of the pond, and that is
Yeah.
yeah.
Not so easily done. Like, it can be done, and I know we've seen it once in the Jean Bureau bracket. I can't remember who it was. It might have been One Will Fam. But it's definitely not easy to wall this map up.
Yep.
Okay, Karabast, you're making me hurt. Okay, there we go. We got more villagers. Okay, both of them made more villagers.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, guys, we're thinking 7 villagers. That's it. That's all we need.
How important will mule carts be in this map, Scratch?
Who's got mule carts? Oh,
Armenians.
Great. Yeah. I I mean, when I think of the mule cart, I think of the ability to protect your villagers by being mobile and the ability to kind of transition from one resource point to the other. So, like, instead of moving villagers from wood to stone, you can move the whole operation from wood to stone. And I think that's really cool. I just don't know. I haven't personally seen the benefit of it yet because I have not played as them.
Yep, that's fair.
So I don't know. But I also look at like how evenly the resources are planted between the players, and I can't imagine doing like a Vil Rush with towers with a mule cart, but I feel like you could, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of transition to stone and then start moving forward.
Did you say Mule Rush with towers?
No, like Vil Rush, like you
Okay.
start having your mule cart escort your villagers towards your opponent to build towers. I don't know.
Okay. That's
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
We got a
What,
dock already for Armenians.
what would the mule carts accomplish in that situation?
Well, you don't have to keep building like stone mines and lumber camps, so you can just kind of you can leapfrog from resource to resource towards your opponent,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you've got a whole bunch of villagers building towers on your face. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never really seen that, but yeah, walking time probably factors into that
True.
as to why we've not seen it. But
I do love this about the mule cart though, that we can have the lumber camp and the gold mine right next to each other, and that's kind of awesome.
yeah, we used to talk about how there's an effectively placed lumber camp or mining camp between
Yeah.
two the resources, and here you just do this with Armenians, and because Armenians is on gold very early, I don't know if it's because of just the mule cart being close to both resources. Do you think Armenians would just go like two-handed swordsman on Dark Age, or man at arms on Dark Age, or two-handed swordsman on Castle Age, something like that?
I would
Potentially.
not be shocked at all if that's what we're seeing here. Yeah, we've got 2 gold miners committed to this. I feel like that's what we're gonna see. Karabast has their foot on the gas already, and we're going fishing ships. So I think that's exactly what we're gonna see. We're gonna see a lot of infantry spam very quickly.
As Byzantines, though, you are a Byzantines enjoyer, so a man after your own heart, it looks like. So, what would you do as Byzantines on this map? I mean, I do think that you have faster fires, so your docks could be stronger. Your docks itself will be stronger because all buildings have extra HP, right? As Byzantines, so there's that.
I'm still very much on the fence about like
Hybrid
I've watched
maps.
I've watched Hidden Cup 4, but like there's so little food here in the bay. Like there's less than 2,000 food, and I don't fully understand why it's so contestable.
Okay.
I get it. Like it's a boost. It's kind of like pushing deer. If you get it, it's a boost to your economy, and if you don't get it, it's not a boost. But I don't know if it's worth fighting over.
I think
I'm not a pro player.
No, yeah, I think the way I look at the fishing ships is that as there's a scout war on the bottom, which it does look like
Karabast. Nope.
skitvibe might win, but the bills are being pulled, so skitvibe has to run away. But where were we? We were talking about and
whether maybe not. Skitvibe, you had a chance.
Okay, yeah. So the reason why I think the fishing ships are contested is because it's a faster food resource, right? We've spoken about how the boar collection rate is faster.
Oh yeah, okay. That's right.
And the fishing ships is also fast, so you can go faster to feudal age, castle age, and so on. Maybe not feudal age. If you with a good build, you'll be even in the time to feudal age. But castle age, I'm sure is going to be much faster if you have fishing ships.
Well, skitvibe got to feudal age like 10 minutes and 35 seconds complete, so that's really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of idle time for the players as well, right? So there's that factoring.
We don't have any dock activity yet, so I'm imagining they're going fires. But as Byzantines, I'm not entirely sure. I believe, like I always love going archers as Byzantines and backing them up with slow pushes because the buildings are so chunky. That is kind of what I think I would do here, but it kind of depends on how quickly these Armenian infantry show up.
Yeah, I think the scout from skitvibe is important, right? Because if an infantry spam is coming, you need archers or skirms in defense. I mean, I would prefer archers, but right now, skitvibe's not on gold, so maybe not even fires to contest the fishing ships yet.
Yeah, it is odd so far to see a dock built so early, but then not produce anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times when I don't make fishing ships, but then I'll dock and kill them, make fires or something just to kill opponents' fishing ships. And
Yeah.
this
Okay, we're
scout
hitting
has been really active and probably will kill a will.
Wow.
Okay, nice. That was really good scout activity from skitvibe. And we'll
Go
the
straight
scout-
into the town center.
Where's the scout from red? Oh, they just.
They're
Oh,
hanging out.
they were in dockage, I think, for a long period of time, so they're just hiding under the TC. But now, since both of them are in the same age, 15 HP for karabast, now can just come back and try to kill the will. There is a stable from Byzantines, so there's going to be a scout rush potentially in feudal age.
I like the scout rush. I think it's a little less effective as Byzantines than archers, but that's only because archers can pay off more later
I mean, you know
if
that
you keep them alive.
you know that Karabas is walling up, right? So
True.
over here, wouldn't it be better to just go Castle Age? Ooh, as I say that,
Yeah,
even Armenians is not thinking about Castle Age, thinking about man-at-arms, probably longswords, and some infantry in feudal age.
I think the wall up is definitely just in preparation of the attack. I do agree that just going castle age, like I looked over at Skitvibe's resources, and at one point they had 624 food already. I think that just going castle age would have been probably preferable.
Yeah, or archers because you saw the opponent's walls, right? But maybe not
Yes.
even that because Bay is you're very far removed from your opponent. It takes time.
Yes.
By the time you reach there. But yeah, I have feudal age longswords is going to be in play. So longswords against castle age units, pretty much. You don't have the armor for them, but you do have longswords in feudal age. So this is going to be painful if you take head-on fights.
It's a little odd to me that we were. Oh no, I guess because they only have the one barracks. Never mind. That makes sense. I was wondering why they weren't building militia and man at arms yet, but they only had the one barracks. I would like to see more commitment to that. I'd like to see 2 barracks.
Okay.
If you're gonna research into the tech, like let's.
I
go 2
think
barracks.
this is honestly kind of a mistake from Skitvibe. Skitvibe's thinking going full feudal with lots of scouts forging, but then you know your opponent is also walled. They can house wall feudal age scouts, I think, even if you have a lot of them, unless you have also archers or scums behind, which I don't see any ranges yet.
No, not yet.
Skitvibe's also going for infantry armor, so maybe there's
Plans to do pikemen, or that's a misclick. I think that's a misclick.
But I mean, you're going against Armenians who can also research pikemen in feudal age, right? I don't know. It's but yeah, the first set of longswords is gonna reveal the hand of Skitvibe. So let me just switch over to the vision that Skitvibe has to see what Skitvibe sees. Skitvibe's actually moving in with scouts, so maybe I'll just focus on both armies. I expect the scouts actually killed one villager, so it's not completely.
I like the longswords play from Karabast because I agree. I don't think scouts is the right play, but I think that armor upgrade was a misclick. I think we were meaning to get
Stable armor. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the scouts died to scouts from Karabast. That is not ideal. And
Wait, what?
there was a scout attacking the northern
yeah.
wall. There's also another group of scouts on the other side.
I appreciate the restraint that Karabast had here of building 5 long swordsmen and then going to Castle Age. That was actually, I don't think I would have done that. I think I would have spammed. But I think that the restraint is actually the correct play.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have to appreciate the restraint considering how these players have started before, right? But the scouts are
Yeah.
trying to get in. A few houses, yep,
is-
that should defend, and you can focus on the attack again. Um,
Okay, towers are correct here. I like that.
yep, that's a
But
good
we also
tower
have
as
to
well.
block the we also have to block the wall though.
Um,
Because longswordsmen can't really figure out what they want to hit. Oh, they were being clicked into the base. They were trying to find a hole.
I think this is very reminiscent of what happened in the previous set where we said that there needs to be ranges to attack
Yeah.
the longswords, but
Yeah,
okay.
a tower is good, especially on the gold, but we need a range. Like
Okay.
the immediate thought here needs to
Skit
be. I
Vibe
need to
scouts
build a
are
range.
actually through.
Oh, very good.
So
We got pikemen though,
there's a couple of three pikemen.
and the pikemen will shred these scouts, especially since they don't have the correct armor.
Okay, and the longswords are just gonna take out the towers. There's no ranges here.
Yeah, when you
it's
see
just gonna
when you
be-
see militia units, especially upgraded longswordsmen.
This looks exactly like the game that we cast with.
Oh, okay, there's the archery range. It's too late though,
Yep.
and it's very forward.
This
Yeah, I'm
is-
sorry, Skit Vibe. Unfortunately, we really needed that range immediately.
And
for
Arson's coming
possibly
in as
from your
well.
backwood
So,
left.
yeah, Arson's coming in, and
Oh man, that might be it.
I mean, there's no units skewed from karabast, so you can. Game's not over yet. There's a lot of.
There's okay. That's a
gold
better
and
spot.
wood.
Good job, Skit
Yeah.
Vibe. Yeah. So if you see militia units on your wall, a tower's fine. You do need to reinforce the wall as well, but your first thought needs to be, I need an archery range. And,
Right.
and I need to put it away from my enemy.
Yeah, I think because they are not as mobile, you can also take gold from the front now. You have an outpost to see if anything comes up. There's a nice wall up with the barracks, but I think with the arson, karabast will just start taking that down. But you do have an archery range. You are queuing up archers, so I think that's a good play. And champions comes in with armor, so this is just the beginning of
Two-handed
what
sword.
karabast has planned. Two-handed
Two-handed
swordsman. Oh yeah, that's true. There's
Not yet, yeah.
two decks for Imperial. So yeah, there's a lot to tech into.
Yeah, I do like that we came back and we finished the second archery range, but let's start pumping archers out of it. Because now they're two-handed swordsmen.
I think the gold wills need to run away, and I think the wood wills need to run away. You can just
Yeah, we
take
need
the
to
gold
break-
front,
we need
the
to-
forward. Yeah, forward
we need to
gold.
break down
You
that
have an
wall.
outpost. Yeah, I think you should be fine. And if you have fletching, that'll be good.
They
But
do not.
Without it, it's gonna be. It'll work because it's archers still, but it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, it does feel weird fielding archers against two-handed swordsmen in feudal age, but they can do it.
Yeah, they can do it. You just need a mass, and you are producing. So I think.
We're microing. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
Like-
good. Skit Vibes is still in it. I mean, karabast is in Castle Age, but if the idea is longswords, you can go archers and beat them, even if a bit of micro might be needed, but you can do it.
Unfortunately, though, these guys are very tanky. They're taking.
Where
they're
are the other
taking-
archers that were produced? Are they just producing very slowly? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost the second range.
Okay. Okay, now the wood wills need to be removed, but yeah, I mean, karabast is actually thinking of making more infantry, which is what we expected, but there's also second TC on the slopes, which...
Yeah, karabast seems to play in a very similar fashion to me, is that they don't necessarily boom out every game, but they always like to have that second TC during their attack. I do the same thing. I like it a lot. It gives you a very good secure economy.
Okay.
We're going warrior priest.
Okay, warrior priests are essentially just infantry monks. They can attack, but they can also convert.
And
So
I can't remember, can they not carry relics?
they can carry
They
relics.
can
so,
carry
yeah.
relics.
But they do take bonus damage from scouts because they are monk units.
Okay, I like skitvibe sending out a scout or two just to kind of get a look around. I like that.
And I do think that because of this presence with the barracks and the fortified church here, skitvibe's gonna be on the defense in this game. But skitvibe is in Camp Castlage.
We need to rebuild that second archery range for sure.
Yeah, you need
the second you see that church and that barracks, you need to build that second archery range immediately.
because you know your opponent is going infantry, right? You need your fletching. I think that is.
no.
I think before the archery range. I mean, you have enough wood for all of it, honestly.
Sure.
And
Well, so I like the second archery range because then you can build units and research text. But I just realized something that's going to destroy the Byzantines, and I think.
do they get arbalest as Byzantines?
Yeah.
Okay, they
Yep.
do. Okay. Yeah, they do. Yeah,
But
they.
the problem is they've walled themselves off from their own stone.
Oh, cataphracts is what you're thinking. But yeah, I think unique units, I'm not really sold on going unique units as a main plan. I think
So
archers
especially with
works.
cataphracts, they're very expensive, and obviously they come out of castles, so they're almost never a main plan. But if you throw in enough cataphracts with an archer mass, they can absolutely defend against this. The problem is,
You
Skitvibe
cannot-
doesn't have access to stone.
Even if you have access to stone, I don't think it's worth. You don't have the time to collect the stone, drop a castle, have the stable upgrades for the cataphracts to even do things to it. And cataphracts are weak to archers, and there's galleys, fortified church. Probably they can mix in their own archers, which is not really happening right now. I think right now Karabast is just thinking of ending this in style with 14 two-handed champions so far. 8 more in queue, so that'll be 22. But the builds are completely idled, so you can actually come back into this game, skitvibe. I hope you are
More to
thinking
the-
about crossbow because you are in Castlage and they do a lot more damage than
Yeah, it's
regular
on the back
archers.
end.
I think you just sell your wood to get the gold, buy the food, and do things. I think you need market. I think you need horse collar. There's a lot of things that you need.
They have a market. There's a market.
I'll honestly just idle. I would stop producing archers and get the economy upgrades. I think that'll be good for the long term. I think
Economy would be good. The
Yeah.
main reason I was talking about stone is because it's very difficult to mount a slow push as
okay.
Byzantines
I'm glad there's
without
crossbow.
stone. And we're going 3 ranges, which I like.
4 ranges.
I think 2
Four.
or yeah, 4. I think 2 would be fine. Because you don't really have the economy, you're kind of hemmed in here. We can throw a second TC back in that corner and just farm. That'd be nice.
I think
Or on the gold even.
I still think Skitvibe's in a good position here because I mean, this just going full infantry and all these archers are going to be useful. And I mean, you can be active with them honestly. Just don't let them mass like whittle down this army. You don't want them to completely have like 40, 50, 200 champions and then take the fight. That is not what you want to do. As archers, be active, whittle down this 19 200 champions.
Yeah.
But I do think that
Archers is a number game.
yeah.
Archers is definitely a number game.
Because
If
you don't have ballistics,
archers,
right?
You want to.
Okay, university ballistics is the idea, but I still think that you need to kind of be outside the range of the fortified church. Try to just attack and bait them to come outside the range and keep them pinned in, and also not let them mass. Because right now, Karabast is idle as eco and making full two-handed swordsman. This can be punished, but Skitvibe needs to be strong enough to come outside the base. I think that will happen after Skitvibe researches ballistics, probably. Okay, so you can. So
Yeah,
ballistics.
Archers is a number game. You really need to.
Is there a
make sure
market?
that
There is a market.
There's a market.
You can sell the food or the wood to get the gold and get ballistics. If that is
Yeah.
the reason why archers are not moving out. But skirms are going to be in now because there is a forward range now, and you need a mangonel. So that's the reason why I would like to be active with archers against
There's the siege
infantry,
workshop.
especially because. Okay, these are all good decisions, but I still think that Skitvibe should be outside the base,
Yes.
being aggressive because you have the better units now. I mean, you can. They looked nice, but I think as archers, I think you can take the fight. And but yeah, now the
That castle is a problem.
castle's a problem. Castle is a big problem.
When you're doing defensive archers like this, it is definitely a numbers game. You need to mass up your archers, but you also need to start whittling down on your opponent's win condition. It is going to be whittling down, especially as Byzantines. That's why they're so good at slow pushing, because what you have to do is, as your opponent starts to lose those numbers, you have to push back, and that's why I was concerned about the stone on the front
Ooh.
being walled off.
Karabast is
castle.
thinking not aggressive
Not
enough,
enough,
and okay, this is going.
That is admittedly a much better position.
The stone is going to be a problem here because I mean, skitvibe might be able to deny this. Just 3 wills, you can kill them. Just come in. There is Botkin and ballistics. Just no, come in,
They're
come in
attacking
and
the castle.
Oh,
No.
just come in. I think. Come on, you can do this. Skitvibe. Oh.
Skitvibe, I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Oh no, I think skitvibe's not really. I think you need to focus on the villagers.
Yeah, they're scared
because,
off.
Yeah, I think the wills making the castle is actually really scary. So yeah, I think if this castle goes up, that's going to be a problem in itself.
Yeah, we got a little distracted here with the micro. These two-handed swordsmen will slaughter your crossbowmen, but like you can micro this. We need to. Dennis is correct. This is only 3 villagers. We should have sacrificed some of these crossbowmen to kill those villagers.
Yeah, because once the castle goes up, you don't have any castle to prevent the infantry from running into your base, and now they have armor. I saw Gambesons comes in, which means there's extra pierce armor on the two-handed swordsman. And eventually, Karabast will have the resources to click up to Imp as well. Not that that's needed to push, but yeah, this is looking like a game for Karabast now. Because now the stone, I didn't really mind it before, but now without the stone, I think this is. How do you defend against this? It's
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about. Byzantines are really good at that slow pushing. They need stone to do it, though, because even if you're not going to do the cataphracts, those castles are such a powerhouse of defense that they allow your archer numbers to continue. You drop a castle, you build some monks, you heal up your archers, you go back in. You drop another castle, you get some monks, you heal up your archers, you go back in. Unfortunately, by denying themselves this stone, it made it so that their reaction did not have a follow-up, and that's really, as a Byzantines player, that's a really rough situation to be in. Unfortunately for skitvibe, I think this kind of played out in the same way as game 2, in that, or I'm sorry, game 3, in that I think skitvibe was making the correct decisions. The problem is that Karabast was just making faster decisions and more aggressive decisions. Really great going from Karabast here.
Yeah, big day, and Karabast showed up. Honestly, I had skitvibe down as one of the favorites to win the whole thing.
Too.
So this has been really good from Karabast to show us what his group is made of, and essentially just been very active, had the initiative in most games, and really well played. Very good as decision making. Didn't really keep skitvibe to play their game, and honestly here I think skitvibe could have reacted better, but again, big game, big tournament, knockout stage, there's a lot of things riding on this, so
a lot of pressure.
Yep.
A lot of pressure, but like skitvibe, you're out, but hey, this was great to see.
You provided some amazing games in this tournament, honestly.
And like Dennis said, I genuinely do believe we both had skitvibe pegged for the potential winner of this, and Karabast just shut that down. So that's awesome to see. We got a little drama, a little upset.
So whoever's in the second semifinal, Karabast is coming for you. It's been really good game, and
both of these players have progressed beautifully, and that's, I said this in the beginning, that this is why Dennis and I like watching the lowest elo tournament, because we get to see the arc. We kind of get to see the trajectory of like, what are they learning, what are they paying attention to, what are they doing. Dennis was talking about Karabast idling their economy, which they were definitely doing, but they were coming back to it and going, okay, I probably need some more villagers. Hey, I'm going to do this quick little expansion over here to just get some more resources to set up for this castle drop. Like, we're seeing little decisions, and then we're seeing bigger payoffs from them because we're following through with the little things that we're learning how to do, and that's really cool to see.
And this is something that we didn't really cover during the Gamecast, but did you see the unit that's right next to the castle, Scratch? What did Karabast make there?
The petards.
Petards. He's
Yeah.
actually made petards to
Yeah.
just be speed up that process of taking down the walls, and that's just complete aggression. That shows the mindset of Karabast too. Just wants to end this game very, very quickly.
Yeah, and that's definitely like it's a very silly thing, but I say it a lot, is that I can't lose if I win before my opponent does. And it's a very silly statement because obviously if you win, you win, but speed is such an essential component to this game, is that your strategy looking at Huang can be completely like, paper thin if you're up against the right opponent. But if you can put off enough pressure and you can just win quickly, your opponent can't do anything about it. And I think, unfortunately for skitvibe, that's kind of what we saw here, is that Karabast very much was making more aggressive, quicker decisions to close out the games quickly. I don't necessarily know if skitvibe was the better player in late game, but we definitely saw here that Karabast was making sure these games did not last very long. And I think that was intentional.
Yeah, and honestly, with late game, you see the compositions that he went for in all the games. Yeah. He was really well set up. Skirm, two-handed swordsman here, light cav archer in the last game, and honestly, it was, like I said, this is the second session of recording, so I don't remember exactly what the unit types were in the first one, but I remember the karambit spam. There was like 95 karambits made.
No, it was 150.
150 total produced.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
150 total produced and 95 karambits on the field in the last game. So that was crazy too. So yeah, Karabast honestly announces himself as one of the contenders, and now we have to watch out for Darren and DHR to see what they are up for. And yeah, it's and like I said, good memories and good games from skitvibe throughout the tournament. But Karabast honestly has shown a lot in the semifinal, and yeah.
Also, I would say of all the players, with the exception of maybe one Will fan by proxy, I think skitvibe was probably one of the most communicative players that we've had. They were talking to me a lot in DMs and whatnot, and they were very hyped for us as cast and the tournament as a whole. So it's really sad to see them go, but they've been a great participant, and as Dennis said, they've given us some great games to watch. I laugh frequently that, man, these guys would kick my ass, and there's definitely been times where, like, that's just true. Like, I genuinely love seeing these players get progressively better, and we're seeing that, and it's happening every single game. It's so cool. But any final thoughts? Any last thoughts?
Oh yeah, those were all my thoughts. I'm I'm done with the thoughts at the moment. But this is really good stuff from Karabast, and all the best in the final. And yeah, and we're also look forward to watching DHR versus Darren in the second semifinal. Yeah,
and then whoever wins that, they're going up against Karabast. So I hope you guys watch this.
All right.
Anyway, this is Scratch and Dennis with Hidden Community Cup Jean Bureau bracket semifinal between Karabast with skitvibe, with Karabast taking the win at 3-1. Have a good night, everybody.